Hey, what's up guys? Angel Perfect TV Killer back with another action figure review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Deathbird and Gladiator 2-pack. And I just got to say, man, these figures in the package looks amazing. Really wanted to get my hands on this 2-pack, mainly for the Gladiator because he looks freaking sick. I really love the Gladiator in the comics. He's just straight menace, just filled with powers. So that's cool. And with Deathbird, I seen of her in the comics, not much. I know of her, seen a bit of her in the comics, but not really dig deep into her origin. So I don't know much about Deathbird, but she does look hella sick right here. So glad I got my hands on this 2-pack. Got this just yesterday, day before yesterday, with a bunch of other figures. Showed the short yesterday showing what I got. But yeah, enough about that. I mean, here's the package. Obviously, it says X-Men in the front there. On the side, we have two pictures of the characters. You see Deathbird and the Gladiator right there. On the side, just nothing, just their names and more pictures of them. And on the back, we have more art of the characters. And in the middle, we do have readings of the character. If you want to read that, you can pause that right there. But yeah, that's the package. Let's get these two guys outside of it. And here we have Deathbird and the Gladiator outside of their packaging. And these characters outside their packaging are looking very, very sick. Now, starting off, we're going to leave the Gladiator to the side, which is obviously my favorite out of the two. When I saw this 2-pack, both characters look amazing, but Deathbird looks cool, but this Gladiator, really wanted him in my collection. So, really excited for this 2-pack. But to save the best for last, let's start off with Deathbird here. And to be honest, right off the back, I've seen of this character, but you know, I'm not really deep into her origins and stuff like that. So I don't know much about her, but I did look up her powers and stuff. So she is a very powerful mutant. So that's very cool. But yeah, we can see here, man. I mean, this figure itself, you know, her design they chose for her, it looks very, very sick, especially that head sculpt, man. She's looking very, very psychotic with that smile right there. We can see with her helmet right here, looks very, very sick with her crazy hairstyle. That looks very nice. Looks like Wolverine's haircut, to be honest. Looks exactly like Wolverine's hairstyle. But yeah, she's rocking that. It looks very, very sick. And you go down to her outfit, looks very nice. You see she goes a lot of purple going around. We got the darker purple, and then spots like here, we got some lighter purples right there. Going down to her legs, we see, you know, the details looking nice right there on her outfit. Purple looking very nice on the figure and around the outfit as well. A lot of details going around. And her arms, she do got tubes going around her. And if we, you know, look behind her cape, she does have tubes coming out from her back. So that's pretty cool. And it goes all the way to her wrists right here, to her arms. So that looks very nice. If you look closely, you know, well detailed tubes, and it's very soft. So it's definitely not going to hinder any articulation. But yeah, man, she looks cool. Her hands, you see her painted fingernails right there, black. We go to the back. Her cape looks very, very cool. She got like this nice lizard skin. It looks like a dragon's skin. Looks very nice. And what I've seen from the comics, she has wings, and I think it's like from her cape. So I've seen some pictures like her just having straight up wings. And I'm not gonna lie, this would have been a lot cooler for the figure, man. I would have preferred this figure to have some wings than instead of a cape. But for what we got, it's very cool. Sick looking figure. Nice look for Deathbird here. But yeah, besides her looks, looks very nice, well painted, details very nice. So now we're gonna go through the articulation. I mean, her head looks up, pretty far up, not too much, but somewhat. She does look down quite a bit, and obviously head goes all the way around, left and right. Arms does go up about that far, and she does have the bicep swivel, doubled jointed elbows. She does have the wrist, the swivel on the wrist, bends forward, back and forward. And she does have the diaphragm cut, and it does have some movement, but I'm not gonna lie, not much movement there, to be honest, but the articulation is there. She does kick up about that far, and she kicks back almost nothing, unfortunately, but she does have that thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and she does, her foot does go barely up, which kind of sucks, goes down a good amount, and has that ankle pivot. But yeah, that was Deathbird right there, not gonna lie, really sick figure. Her the paint job is done well. I like how the figure shines throughout. I think I didn't mention that while I was going through her details, but she does have that nice glossiness going throughout the figure, so that does look very nice right there. So really do love that. So we're gonna put her to the side, and now we're gonna bring in the big boy here, the Gladiator. Oh, and forgot to mention, for accessories, that's why I didn't mention, I forgot to mention, she does have no accessories, unfortunately, no accessories at all. No power effects or anything like that, just her, and that's it. So that kind of sucks, but oh well. So there's that. But yeah, let's get into Gladiator. And I'm not gonna lie, man, this is where this 2-pack shines, man. This is what I really wanted out of the 2-pack. It's just, the Gladiator is such a cool character, so powerful as well, and it's just a very awesome character to just see. So I just wanted to have a very good Gladiator in the collection. So I'm really glad to finally have a nice looking Gladiator to the collection. And just to say, this figure looks very nice. Just to look at, just look at the head sculpt there, man. Just done really well. I love the details in the paints. There's some nice shading right there around the eyes. And just the face in general just has some good shading in there. In the lines right there. We go to his hair. You already know the Gladiator be rocking that sick fucking mohawk, which looks really freaking nice. Well done. And just the rest of the hair, just really well detailed. The ears are detailed well. So yeah, man, the head sculpt on this Gladiator is just really, really, really well done. And yeah, we just go around the body, man. Obviously the details, the choice they chose for this guy is fits him well. Really love the body they chose for him. The paint looks really good. You go through the reds and blues. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of shading going throughout the figure. But the paint is clean. It looks really nice. I love the details going throughout. We go down to the legs. Obviously, everything else is red. But yeah, the red and the blues look very nice on this figure, and the yellows as well. You see the belt painted well right there. You see the symbol on his chest. Love how nice and smooth, like it just came out really clean. Love how clean that came out. No smudges or anything like that. We go to the cape. Really well done. Reminds me of the Doctor Strange cape. Obviously the cape right here has the 2 discs right here in the front. Really well done. Really like the sculpt for the cape. See in the back. Go with the red and yellows. Unfortunately, for what I see, not a lot of shading going throughout the cape either. These figures, I might say, like, these figures are like well painted and detailed, but sometimes wish they'd added a little more shading to their figures, because the head sculpts, man, the head sculpts be nice on these guys, man. Head sculpts be really nice and the shadings be good. Wish they, you know, carried on throughout the figure itself, but none of that. The figure looks really nice throughout. So let's get through the articulation on this guy. So the head, oh, by the way, his cape does connect to his back right there, and it can sometimes be a little loose. If you can see right there, it doesn't stay in place basically at all, so that can be a little bothersome when you try to have it in an angle, but it's not horrible. It stays there, but it can be a little floppy. But yeah, for the articulation, you could move his head back about, let me see, can't really get it because of the cape. Okay, he moves up that much, not too much, but just a bit, just enough to be honest, not bad. Does look down, looks down all the way actually, so that's pretty nice. He does arms go all the way around. His arms go about that far, not too bad, pretty nice range. Does got that bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Oh, sorry about that, guys. My camera is a little floppy today. Sorry about that. I keep moving the camera too much today. I've noticed I've been touching the camera a little too much. So he does have the double jointed elbows and does swivel on the wrist, and hands go back and forward. Does have that ab crunch going forward, which is really good amount, not too bad. Not gonna lie, kind of wish that Gladiator here had a diaphragm cut. I think it would have been a lot nicer for Gladiator. Just have that extra movement in the body. But you know, hopefully maybe one day they'll make another one that has that diaphragm cut, because I do prefer my characters and my figures with diaphragm cuts instead, because you know, you just have so much movements with that kind of articulation. But he does have the swivel on the waist. He does kick about that far, kicks back about that far, does have the thigh swivel, double jointed knees, which looks great. Does have that cut on the boot, and his foot goes down that far, goes up about that far, which is really nice, a lot better than Deathbird's. And he does have that ankle pivot. So articulation on the Gladiator here is perfect. Besides, you know, preferring the diaphragm cut, everything else about the Gladiator was just done perfect. And for his accessories, which Gladiator does come with, which I'm really happy about. Once again, sadly that Deathbird didn't come with any accessories, but I'm glad that the Gladiator did, which is obviously my more preferred character from the 2-pack. So I'm glad that the Gladiator got to have his accessories. And accessories not bad. It's not much, but it's there. He does come with a pair of fists, which is very important for the Gladiator here. Let's just add these fists real quick to him. Gonna do this quick off camera, so give me one moment. I usually do a little cut to these, but Today we're gonna do a little uncut, no editing. But yeah, here he is with the fists. Looks very nice. And for his last accessory, obviously you guys have seen it in the beginning of the video. Look at this head sculpt. Holy shit, man. This head sculpt is so well done. Just look at the beams coming out from his eyes with anger, him screaming. Oh my gosh. Nice looking head sculpt. Let's add that head sculpt right now. Hold on. Do this off camera once again. Here we go. Put him in a little pose to match the energy with the head sculpt. And here he is. Look at that head sculpt. Golly. That's a good looking gladiator head sculpt right there. I really love how that came out. But yeah, man, that was the gladiator's accessories right there. A pair of fists and a really good screaming head sculpt with some beams coming out of it. That just looks very, very nice. But yeah, man, that was Deathbird and the gladiator. Let's stand them up straight real fast and just get through some quick comparisons. So give me one moment to take out some characters and we'll see how they scale up. Alright, so here we have Deathbird and Gladiator standing as straight as possible to get through some size comparisons. Today we're just going to do size comparisons with some other Marvel Legends just for today to get through these size comparisons a little faster. But here they are with some other Marvel Legends. To start them off, here they are next to some other 2-pack characters. Here they are next to the Gamerverse 2-pack characters with Wolverine and Captain America. And you can see they scale well. Love how towering Gladiator is. I like how towering he looks next to Captain America. That looks very nice. And love how Wolverine's skill up against Deathbird and the Gladiator being next to their fellow mutants. So that looks cool. And standing next to some more X-Men characters. Here they are standing next to Lady Deathstrike and Deadpool. And if you can see, both characters stand taller than the other characters. You can see Deathbird standing a little taller than Lady Deathstrike. And you already see Gladiator is going to be towering every regular 6-inch character. So here they are next to them. Once again, love how these other X-Men characters are stacking up next to these guys, especially the Gladiator. And for some X-Men heavy hitters, here they are next to the Blob and the Apocalypse. And man, do they look sick, even with some of the heavy hitters like the Blob and the Apocalypse. And I'm really loving how Apocalypse sit next to the Gladiator. Love how they skill up against each other. And I can just imagine there's some sick pictures I can come up with them fighting each other and shit like that. So really love how they're scaling up against each other. So there they are with some heavy hitters. And last but not least, here they are next to the Maximum Hulk and the 2-pack Spider-Man. And obviously my Maximum Hulk with the customized head and shirt I made him. But yeah, that was the 2-pack with Deathbird and Gladiator. And I just gotta say, man, I just highly recommend this 2-pack. In my opinion, to me, it was worth it. I mean, the characters are sick. And especially, you know, the detail, the articulation. It's just a really fun 2-pack. and especially for this gladiator, man, just looks very sick. And deathbird as well, she was done really well. Besides the diaphragm cut, the articulation was a little bit limited. It wasn't enough movement, but besides that, great figure. And the gladiator, just phenomenal figure. Like, it's such a great figure. But yeah, highly recommend this 2-pack. There was my review of Deathbird and the Gladiator. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace.